We're really happy to be back here with our coverage from the AWS reInvent. You know, we did a bunch of them live streamed and some we saved for later. This is one of the save for laters. Hope you enjoy it, and it captures the spirit of and the excitement that was this year's AWS reInvent. I want to introduce you to Jahnke. John is with Tackle.io.
Yep.
That's not bad. I remembered it for more than a minute.
I love it.
That's my cognitive test. But anyway, John, first of all, welcome to TechStrong TV.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You guys had a little bit of an announcement here.
Yeah. AWS reInvents the Super Bowl for Tackle. We help ISVs list, sell, and scale through the cloud marketplaces. And we were acquired on Monday. So mixing our biggest event of the year with an acquisition was
doesn't get any better than that,
the way
man.
To start the week.
Enjoy that moment.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. You know what? I just want to, for sake of legal clarity, let me be clear. They announced an acquisition or the intent to acquire. The deal is not closed yet.
That is correct. Yes.
Right. So that's the way we should frame it. And the acquiring company.
Yeah, so we were acquired by a company called AppDirect, and AppDirect is a company that powers marketplaces. So they run 400 marketplaces all over the world, many for, large-scale telcos, large-scale ISVs, channel partners, distributors, even some manufacturers. And, we work really closely with the hyperscalers, AWS, Azure, and GCP, but we spend a lot of time talking to people who run marketplaces to understand what's next. We exist to help software companies sell more, sell faster, so we're always trying to figure out how to help them do that. And
absolutely,
that's how we discovered AppDirect and started a partnership, and that turned into this. So we're really excited.
Good for you guys. I think so our audience is a techie audience, John, and they're familiar with marketplaces, obviously. But, marketplaces, they're kind of the new mall, right? Malls are zombie land. No one goes to physical malls anymore. Yep. Most of us don't, right? We don't go shopping as much as we used to. But when it comes to buying stuff online, marketplaces are where it's at, right? And us in the tech world, look, we got the Amazon, you mentioned the Google marketplace, the Microsoft, the Azure marketplace, the AWS marketplace. But if you look at any good software vendor worth their chops who has a decent channel of an ecosystem, plugins or whatever, they all have marketplaces. Yeah. And, I still remember, what the heck, why would Apple want to do a phone, right? I remember those days, and I remember my friend said, it's not the phone, dummy. It's the apps.
Yeah. And
it's the marketplace for the app store. And really, an app store is sort of like a marketplace as well, when you think about it.
Absolutely.
And so it really makes all this go around. Give us an idea, because I'm sure that I've got folks, ISVs out here, who are saying, how's he going to help me with my marketplace listings?
Yeah.
Without giving away family secrets.
Yeah, no. My co-founder and CTO, he was the visionary behind Tackle. He was in the beta program for AWS Marketplace. And, as he was working through that process, he was like, this is hard. No one really wants to build software to sell software. There's something here. So we started to experiment with that. And one of our really early customers was New Relic. And they were like, hey, we think this cloud marketplace thing's really going to be a way people buy our software. And we were able to help them list and start selling. And back then, this is 2017, that wasn't really commonplace. And so we had to work with them really to integrate that into their business process and finance team and RevOps team and revenue team. And that became our product backlog to start. And, since then, the early days, people were doing large enterprise private offers, which is like passing custom pricing and terms through the marketplace. But now people buy all kinds of software. It's not just cloud forward software, it's business applications, it's vertical applications, it's AI technology. And we just continue to see the proliferation of people wanting to list and sell, but more importantly, people buy in this new way.
I love it, man. It's great. So there's the onboarding of your listing on our marketplace. And I unfortunately had to do that a few times in my life, and it's a giant PIA. So I got to imagine you guys are going to be a godsend for companies who need to onboard. But then once you're onboarded, Tackle doesn't end at the onboarding.
Yeah.
in some ways, and I don't mean to say in a derogatory way, but it's almost like SEO for marketplacing too, right? It
Yeah.
helps you get more than your share.
I mean, there's really three pillars of what we do. The first is, I mean, we process $1 billion a month through these hyperscaler marketplaces. And over the years, that's allowed us to build a data model to analyze all of your target customers to determine which would be likely to buy through which of these channels. And once you know that, you can engage in something called co-sell, where you engage the cloud provider seller to say, hey, what's our better together story? How can we help each other help this customer get the outcome they need? And then marketplace operations are the last piece. And we do all that inside of Tackle as well as inside of Salesforce, because this starts traditionally as a motion that's led by partner teams who try to figure this out. But it really scales with revenue teams. And some of the largest sellers in the world, companies like CrowdStrike, have all of their reps understand how to take advantage of this cloud marketplace movement. And AWS especially has been pioneering a ton of capabilities and continuing to release new features. So it's a continuous delivery problem for us. We stay really tight with their roadmap and deliver that on behalf of the ISV community so they don't have to figure it out as we go.
Absolutely. I think back to when AWS started and the AWS marketplace started. And back then, part of AWS's shtick, if you will, was we don't play favorites. If you're approved as a partner, you get a listing in the marketplace, and we'll let the market decide, right? And this was before, other marketplaces were letting you buy advertised banners within the marketplace, or you could buy premium positioning, or you were in bold letters and everyone else wasn't. AWS back then was very, proletariat, if you will. Everybody gets the same listing. And we'll say, what's changed as you look back to those days, John, to now? What's it like to compete in the marketplace?
I mean, there's a lot of listings in the marketplace, and there are a lot of listing types. There's SaaS products, there's container products, there's machine images, there's professional services. So you really have to understand what are you trying to put in the marketplace and what motion are you going to drive. I think AI is causing even a further explosion in software types. Like, existing companies have more products than ever before. New AI companies are growing at a rapid pace. So there's a lot in there. And I do think you have to think about your marketing system to drive traffic and programs with these marketplaces. Buyer behavior is changing, but a lot of people still don't go to AWS Marketplace to look for something. So it's like, how do you connect the dots between all of the marketing and selling that you do and then make marketplace a part of that process? So I think that's quantity of things. There's a lot more. How you integrate it into both your marketing and sales process is a different thing. And then just making sure that what you put there is what people want to buy, and its pricing is aligned and business model aligned to the way people would purchase.
I agree with you. Have you ever had a company reach out to you and say, hey, we need help. We'd want to get on the AWS marketplace or any of the other marketplaces you service. And you look at it and say, I'd rather be your friend than you be mad at me because you just don't got the right, you don't have the right product for the marketplace.
I mean, a lot of times, you have to have product market fit. That's probably the biggest thing. If you don't have product market fit, putting your product in marketplace to figure out product market fit's maybe not the best idea. Once you have product market fit, then it's really that data analysis to understand who is your ideal customer. Are they buying in this way? Do some analysis up front. So we tend to start there with people to be like, okay, are your buyers there? Do they want to show up this way? And once you have a good understanding of that, then you launch with some confidence. And a lot of times we just work backwards from what are your goals? What are your revenue goals? If you're just trying to throw a shingle up and hey, I'll throw it out there and see what happens, that's not usually the kind of company we work with. We tend to work with people who are like, no, this is strategic to me. I have executive alignment. I want to go drive tens, hundreds of millions through these channels, and I want to make this the next big channel for our company. So that's where we tend to really focus.
Excellent.
So product market fit, primary.
Yeah.
Secondary, you have to have a better together story with the cloud, wherever you want to list. If you don't have that, it's not really going to work. And then third, make sure you have a plan to do it strategically.
So curiosity killed the cat, but I'm curious as an entrepreneur. How do you get compensated for this?
Yeah, we have really two parts. We have a services business, which is we do strategy advisory services for ISVs who are trying to figure this out. And then we have a platform business. It's a SaaS subscription platform people can subscribe to and use, and we try to align to the usage that they're going to put through. That's a volume of data, co-sell activity, transactions they're going to put through, but really just try to meet them where they are and allow them to grow with us. You can start really small, or enterprises do, larger agreements with us on a multi-year basis if they see this as a big strategic component.
Got it. Excellent. You probably don't know the answer to this, but when's the anticipated close on this acquisition?
Soon. We said 7 to 10 days on Monday.
Well, you
so
got got two private companies, and you got board approvals, I'm assuming. So it happens quick. So, and again, you may or may not want to tell us, but what's the plan for you, John, post-acquisition?
AppDirect is a pre-IPO company. Then I think the alignment of the products is really interesting. How we can connect the dots with our customers and help them syndicate to more places and connect the dots with the clouds in that same motion. So we're really excited to continue to pioneer. I think it's super early. Like, selling software is the most expensive part of every software company. And that's changing. And people want to do it better, want to do it more efficiently, and we want to continue to pioneer that. My founders and I are really excited about that.
You mentioned the AI word.
Yeah.
Or
I shouldn't have.
Is it a word? Is it two initials? But what kind of impact is that having on your business?
Yeah, we obviously, the AI companies are changing a lot. Like, they're challenging the clouds in ways, they're challenging buyers, changing buyer behaviors. I think more kind of line of business buyers initiate AI products than ever before. So there's change there. It's changing a lot of business models for our customers. So existing enterprise companies who now have these AI components are like, how do I price these things? How do I meter these things? So we're seeing a lot of change there. We're seeing people try to apply unique agent-based solutions to the problem. Can I give agents to my reps or my partner people in order for them to operate more efficiently? So we launched a co-sell agent with Salesforce at Dreamforce earlier this year that runs an agent force to make this whole partner selling motion more convenient, so that we think the agent movement will continue. And how do you just get your reps to be as efficient as possible with these new AI solutions?
Excellent. I love it. We mentioned the website was tackle.io, but it's not spelled like tackle, like football tackle.
It is TACKLE.io.
There is the
It's actually, we have a caddisfly as our logo, which
really?
So my co-founders are from Boise, Idaho, so the fly really connected with them.
Yeah, it's big out there.
Yeah.
Beautiful out there too. I thought you were going to tell me being a Buffalo, living in Orchard Park, it was a Buffalo Bills
could
thing.
Be. There's many uses for the tackle
Right,
word. We tackle the marketplaces.
Right, it's a versatile word there, versatile word.
Right, go Bills.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a Steelers fan. I had a bad week last week.
That was a good second half. It was a good second half.
You guys had a great second half. Yeah, you're playing Cincy. By the time people see this, you might have played Cincy.
Yeah.
But they got Joe Burrows back, so who knows what'll happen.
That was,
Anyway, John, that's all small potatoes. Congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I've done 4 or 5 startups, some venture-backed startups, and I sold some, and some I didn't. But a mentor of mine he always told me, actually, anytime you could get someone to reach into their pocket and write a check that you think fairly values the hard work and what you've built, it's the best days of your life.
Yeah.
So
it has been a tremendous journey, and we look forward to it continuing.
Absolutely. All right. Hey, we're at AWS reInvent. We have probably some more coming your way. Stay tuned. This is Alan Schimmel for TechStrong TV.